imagination is awesome. It's the reason this guy exists. But one time, I took my imagination way too far. Disclaimer, this story will be about how I made war out of tiny paper rock people. Alright, so when I was in 2nd grade, I was in this thing called aftercare, where basically you would stay at school until your parents are ready to pick you up. Anyway, I saw one of my friends throwing around this paper box, and I thought it was so cool. So I tried making my own little thingamajiggy to throw around, which was a piece of paper with masking taped around it. Obviously, I added a smiley face that was red for some reason. And for some reason, called it a rockster because, well, it looked like a rock. I would later make these things called recreate creatures, which is where you would take a living thing and recreate it, like adding superpowers to it or something. Basically, what the imagination of a 7-year-old would come up with. And one of the main recreate creatures and first recreate creatures were the rocksters. Another day in aftercare, and I was making a President Rockster and some Rockster agents. I decided to put the President Rockster on a paper airplane and fly him in the air on the field, which is basically is a mulchy area and has some trees and stuff. It's where we go to recess along with the playground and stuff. After it landed into the mulch, I didn't see Rock President. My friend and I looked everywhere, is what I thought, and didn't find it. So, as the smart, understanding 8-year-old I was, I thought the President Rockster wanted revenge for flying him in a paper airplane.
Well, that was not the smarter speed, lol.
And if I'm being honest, yeah, you're kind of right. So I'd go to my friends and have them join the, well, good side, I guess, and we would be like, I spotted 3 evil rock soldiers last night. The Spider-Man rock got captured. And it was basically made up entirely by rumors and stuff. And some days at lunch, I'd go up to them and ask, hey, what did you see last night? And let me know that at the time, I was very gullible, and I was probably the only one that actually believed in the Rockstar War, whatever. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I saw one last night and stuff. And I found it strange how I, out of everybody, was the only one that hadn't seen one of those living rock thingies. But I just went with it. It was also just a fun art project in a way to make our own rocksters to fight off against the so-called bad rocksters. And what I kind of find funny and dumb is one of my friends would be telling me how he had a vision and would be like, dude, I just had a vision that the evil rock president guy is going to brainwash Timmy, and Billy's going to sacrifice himself, and you're the chosen one. Or something like that, I forget. And I believed it because, well, again, I was gullible. I also eventually made a new President Rockstar and gave it a mech suit thingy, and then later would put it on my doorstep along with some other rockstars, to so-called keep watch. And then by the time I went to go check on them in the morning, most of them had been captured. Or in other words, the wind blew them away. But that's not what I thought. One of my friends would tell me how when the bad rockstars captured good rockstars, they would brainwash them into being bad and stuff. Back when we were making all these rockstars, we would make all kinds of rockstars like a Spider-Man one or metal rockstars, Asia rockstars, but for some reason, when making rockstars, I went from making them as, well, rock-looking thingies to making them as these flat, square paper things, and they hardly even looked like rocks anymore. And we also had a, like, first and second command kind of thing with my friends and stuff. Later in the year, like, by the end of 3rd grade, I'd be eating lunch with my friend and finally asked, hey, do you, like, see these rockstars? Like, or, like, how do you see these rockstars? I haven't seen them. Then he would say, oh, well, you know, they could be alive. And then he would explain, like, there's, like, some rumors. But I'd ask, what's the rumor? He would say, like, a message that's passed around and a thing that might be true or might not be true. And I don't remember what else he said, but that's when I realized none of this was actually real, and the rockstars and all of that were all probably just fake. No, not probably. They were fake. But soon after, I'd basically forget about that and start making comics, and now I make animations like the ones you're watching right now. So yeah, that happened. So maybe don't start a war with paper rocks, and like and subscribe and stuff. And what makes things more ridiculous is it turns out one of my friends just buried the bad President Rockster in the mulch. So basically this entire war was basically just started because my friend buried a paper rock. Also, I've been thinking of making more relatable videos, and this is probably far from it. Like, maybe I'll make a video about my dog in the future or something. So, yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye! I was not expecting to see you here, but what do you have to say?
Hello everybody, this is my part in Kit Kat's new video about imagination. Now, he's talking about rockstars right now, I'm pretty sure. So, might as well. I was one of the kids who actually made some of them. So, here's a rock.